Hey guys, today I want to talk about my new plan. Before I talk about the plan, I want to talk about what you need to speak fluently when you learn a language. First, you learn a language from the way the language is spoken, and the second, you need to listen to people talking in the language to get used to the language is spoken. And third, you need to practice a lot so your brain gets ready, so your brain knows how to speak the language. And four, when your brain is ready, you just start talking in the language like other people talk. And to do these things, there's some problem. And let's talk about the problems. First, you don't learn to speak from grammar books or anime. If you do that, you just keep sounding from books or anime, which is pretty bad because people think like you're just from books or anime otaku. I guess people don't talk like that in the real life. And the second, we are not that lucky to get boyfriend or girlfriends to learn the language from, or to live in the country where the language is spoken. And third, even if we got those chances, it's impossible to understand what's being said. What was being said will be hard, and especially for beginners, it's really hard because your brain doesn't have any information to understand the language. So to cover all these problems, I came up with an idea which is based on how I learned English. So to solve those problems, I'll make a video which is gonna be only me talking in Japanese, saying some stuff in Japanese, all in Japanese at the natural speed of when people talk in Japan. So this way, you'll get the materials to listen to and to get used to how the Japanese is spoken. And I'll separate the video in two parts. In the first part, you only hear nothing but me talking in Japanese. And the second part, I'll explain what I said using less grammars, and I'll use more reasons or like a feeling why and how this needs to be said like this. In the first video, I'll explain those things in the second part of the video using less grammars. So when you finish both parts of the video, you'll be able to understand what was being said in the first video. Even if you're beginner, even if you've just started learning Japanese, you're gonna be able to get like a kind of feeling what was being said in the first video. So, and to make this trial work best, there's some stuff you have to do. This is not like other Japanese tutorial videos you see on YouTube. So there's gonna be a lot of practice needed on your side. So this is the most important part that you have to do when you use this tutorial. And here's what I believe when it comes to speaking fluent language. The more you listen, the more you speak. The more you speak, the more your language gets fluent. That's what I believe. So please practice a lot. And how to use this trial is 1. Catch what I say in the first video. Try to catch what I say in the first video, and write down all the words you heard in hiragana, katakana, romaji. You can even mix all those things, or just write down in whatever makes sense to you. It doesn't need to be perfect, and it's okay if whatever you wrote down makes sense only to you. That's just fine. And the second thing I want you to do is, if you're a beginner or it was too hard, move on to the second part of the video right after finishing the first one. And if you're so eager to learn that you really want to speak fluently, don't go to the second part until you catch all the words and write everything down in the first video. After you done writing, just go check the second video and learn what was being said in the first video. As I said before, I'll use less grammars to explain why and how I said it. Instead of grammars, I'll explain why this needs to be said like this, something like that. And after you finish watching the second part, you're gonna be able to understand what was being said, even if you're a beginner. As I said earlier, this trial is not gonna be made for just pick some words and use them in that you see in other Japanese video tutorials. Uh, you have to work on this trial a lot. This is the most important part of this trial. Practice how to speak. Try to pronounce as perfect as you can. Listen to the first video over and over. And use what you wrote down and repeat everything you hear. Listen to it over and over until your brain memorizes it. And while you're practicing with what you wrote down, there is some stuff I don't want you to do and I want you to do. I don't want you to start and stop the video every time you miss a word. It's okay if you can't do well at first. Once you start playing the video, don't stop it till it gets to the end of the video. Or you don't even need to use the video, just download the video and convert it to MP3 or something and listen to it over and over. But just don't do start and play. Just keep it going once you start it. And the things I want you to do is, first, listen to it over and over till your brain memorizes everything, and mimic the way I say. Try to pronounce it as perfect as you can. Think of the reason why you get better at singing. This trial works like that and get you used to the language at the same time. So this is the plan I came up with while I was making a video request. And this really works, but the result is not gonna come out well right after you started it, because you need to practice first. But the result is gonna be a lot better than learning from books or grammars, because you learn it from the way the language is spoken. That's how you learn a language. And this trial is based on how I learned English. I used this method when I learned English. So I hope you guys check it out, and thank you for watching. See you later.